Imagine leaving the room for a glass of water, and when you come back, your TV channel has changed. Just a minor glitch, right?
Yeah, you'd probably just brush it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the bizarre source text we are deep diving into today, which is the definitive diary or journal of Stan D. Horton, these tiny annoyances are the first symptoms of like a total loss of bodily autonomy.
It really captures that creeping dread, you know, that realization that your environment and eventually your own physical body is no longer entirely your own.
Right. It reminds me of living with a mild carbon monoxide leak. Like, at first you just feel a little off, maybe a bit confused.
Yeah, like you're in a fog.
But in Stan's case, instead of an odorless gas, he's dealing with an invisible, entirely unwanted roommate who is slowly taking over the lease.
And it's like carbon monoxide, sure, but with malicious intent. I mean, the danger isn't just lethal, it's deeply insidious because this entity basically wants to wear him like a suit.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Right. And the mechanism starts when Stan investigates a foul smell under his garbage can one afternoon. He feels this sharp stabbing pain in the back of his neck and is instantly thrust into an out-of-body state. So he's floating near the kitchen ceiling, fully alert, watching his inanimate, slightly discolored body slumped on the floor below.
Okay, and then the unseen entity just drops him back into his fleshy 200-pound body, and the physical pain hits him instantly. But I have to stop you right there, actually.
Go for it.
Because I genuinely don't understand Stan's reaction here. I mean, if my soul gets violently ejected from my body, I'm running down the street screaming.
Yeah, most people would completely freak out.
Right. But Stan sits on the floor for hours, and he yells at the empty room demanding an explanation, feeling it's the invisible entity's, like, duty to explain itself to him.
Which is wild.
It is. And to cope, he goes to the fridge for a midnight binge of cereal and milk, even while feeling a foul masculine breath hovering right over his shoulder. I mean, is this just bad writing, or is there a psychological mechanism here I'm missing?
Well, think about how you react when you hear a strange noise in your house at night.
I usually freeze. Or blame the cat.
Exactly. You try to rationalize it as the wind or the pipes or the cat. Stan's mind is doing that, but on a massive, desperate scale.
So he's just in deep denial.
Big time. By insisting on social rules, like the duty of a guest to introduce themselves, and leaning into a mundane ritual like eating cereal, he is trying to build a psychological fortress of the ordinary, just to keep the terrifying reality at bay.
But relying on that forced normalcy completely backfires on him, because he tries to push through the terror by finishing his chores.
Right, taking out the garbage.
Yeah, he's muttering garbage in, garbage out, and hauling the empty trash to the driveway, which leaves his psychological front door wide open, and that triggers a second, far more severe attack.
It's so unsettling to read.
He gets that sharp knife sensation in his neck again, and suddenly he's hovering in the sky above his driveway, still holding the ethereal trash sack.
And this is where we see exactly how the haunting operates, because down below, Stan's physical body sits up and speaks directly to his hovering consciousness.
Wait, his body talks to him?
Yes. The entity isn't just haunting the physical real estate of the house. It requires his biological hardware.
That is utterly terrifying.
It literally severs the connection between Stan's consciousness and his vocal cords so it can use his body as a megaphone. It needs to prove absolute dominance over his autonomy just to break him down completely.
And the thing using his mouth claims to be the nice one of two ugly twins longing for a piece of the pie.
Yeah, that line is so creepy.
Right, and it warns Stan about the other twin, the mean guy, who kills daylight with darkness, morning with evening.
Which is a huge detail.
It really is.
Yeah.
That two ugly twins line implies this isn't just a single ghost looking to spook him, it's a parasitic ecosystem. Like, one twin breaks down his reality, the darkness, and the other steps in to play the nice guy and assume control.
Precisely. And the climax of the journal shows the trap finally snapping shut.
What happens?
The hijacked body finishes speaking, its face contorts, and Stan's consciousness is violently pulled back into it.
Oh.
And the moment they merge, Stan is overwhelmed with emotion, and the only thing that comes out of his mouth is the exact phrase the entity just said. He's just repeating the rhyme about the two ugly twins longing for a piece of the pie.
Wow. It's a stark, chilling reminder of how fragile our illusion of control over our own minds and bodies might actually be.
Absolutely.
We assume we are the sole occupants of our physical forms, but Stan's diary suggests that control can be severed in an instant.
Just like a flip switch.
Exactly. Which leaves you with something deeply unsettling to think about tonight. If an unseen force can hijack your voice, manipulate your actions, and physically merge with your consciousness.
At what point do you cease to exist?
Right. At what point do you cease to exist and the entity simply becomes you? When does that invisible, unwanted roommate finally change the locks for good?